inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term on May 29, 2019 will be a low-key affair.
2019 presidential inauguration, federal government releases details of events.
The telecommunications subscriber base, as I'm talking to you now, it has risen by more than 21 million.
As the federal cabinet winds down, communication minister presents his scorecard.
Repairing 55,000 broken down tractors, which Mecca and its partners have done the survey for, will cost Nigeria only 30 billion naira.
And Nigeria moves to sustain Fadama 3 through improved financing. Good evening, I am Jumwa Yusuf on NTA Network News at 9 tonight. Also with me are Michael Olale in Lagos and Abdullahi Muhammad in Kaduna. Thanks for joining us. The Federal Executive Council has approved a new import levy for sustainable financing of the country's membership subscription in the African Union. The Council also acknowledged continuing economic growth with real GDP growth of 2.01% in the first quarter of 2019. This was acknowledged by Council as the strongest performance in GDP since 2015. Jide Onifade has more on the Federal Executive Council's special meeting in Abuja.
The levy, as explained by Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed, will be charged on imports coming into the country, but with exception.
And the exceptions include goods originating from outside the territory of member countries that are coming into the country for consumption. It also includes goods that are coming in for aid, and also it includes goods that are originating from non-member countries but are imported through specific financing agreements that ask for such kind of exemptions. It also exempts goods that have been ordered and are under importation process before the scheme is announced into effect.
It is envisaged that what will accrue from the levy will be more than what is required to be paid for the African Union subscription, and the minister says that the excess will be put in a special account to finance subscription in multilateral organizations such as the World Bank and the African Development Bank, or even financing the budget. She speaks on the second memo approved for our ministry.
The second approval we got today was for the setting up of a steering committee to be chaired by His Excellency the Vice President for the design and implementation of a national single window. The trading platform will enable better efficiency of port operations, and we're projecting that it will significantly increase government revenues.
Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma Udodoma, says the nation is on the right track towards achieving the 3% growth rate in the economy.
Also, agriculture grew by 3.17%, and this represents the strongest growth in agriculture since the fourth quarter 2017. Our external reserves and our trade balance have also remained healthy over the period, while our exchange rate to the dollar has also been stable.
As he explains, the peaceful conduct of the 2019 elections and the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari will lead to a further boost in economic growth.
Under the next level agenda, even more initiatives will be rolled out to ensure that growth is faster and even more inclusive, as well as job creating.
Tapping others and the number of memos approved is the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Muhammadu Bello, with 10 memos approved by Council for Infrastructural Development in the FCT.
Is for the design of engineering, design and production of tender documents for a 41-kilometer road that is going to link Nyanya through Guruku Pape, and then to bust out in the outer northern expressway, which is called Murtala Expressway. That is the expressway from the city that goes right through to Zuba.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo presided over the meeting, which lasted for almost 7 hours. A valedictory meeting will hold on Wednesday before the inauguration of a new cabinet. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The federal government has unveiled activities lined up for the inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari for his second term. Chairman Publicity Subcommittee of the main organizing committee, Minister of Information and Culture, made this known while addressing a press conference in Abuja to flag off the celebrations. Anthony Fossen has details.
The World Press Conference signals the commencement of activities that will build up to the inauguration on May 29th, while for June 12 Democracy Day celebration, the minister said it will begin on the 7th of June. Lai Mohammed said the events will be low-keyed, explaining that the 2 weeks interval is not feasible for dignitaries to be invited for both events. Therefore, dignitaries have been invited for the June 12 Democracy Day celebration alone.
As you will recall, I said at a press conference at the State House on Monday, the 13th of May this year, that the inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term on May 29, 2019 will be a low-key affair. I also said a number of the events slated for the inauguration will now be held during the first observance of June 12 as Democracy Day.
For now, it is clear that the World Press Conference has set the ball rolling. Tuesday 21st will witness the commencement of a Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit, while Wednesday 22nd, the Federal Executive Council will hold its valedictory session. On Friday 24th, there will be a special Jumat lecture and prayer. The First Lady's interaction with women will hold on Saturday, May 25th. And on the 26th, there will be a special interdenominational church service. It will be followed on Monday 27th with a Children's Day presidential broadcast. Same day, there will be a Children's Day variety party. The events will be crowned on the 29th with the swearing in of the President and Vice President. This will be followed with a state banquet later in the evening. For June 12 Democracy Day celebration, activities will commence on the 7th of June with a historical exhibition of arts, pictures among others, which will run all through to June 12. On Sunday, the 9th of June, there will be a youth concert, creative industry and entertainment night. Monday, June 10th, there will be a secondary school exhibition and panel discussion, while June 11 will feature 3 events, namely PMB Oratorical Contest, Anti-Corruption Summit, and First Ladies Commissioning Program in Yola, Adamawa State. June 12 will commence with a parade at Eagle Square and will be wrapped up with a dinner and gala night. When asked to comment on the state of security, given threats being issued by some elements of recent, the minister simply said,
I can assure you Nigeria is safe for all the world leaders to come and attend. Thank you.
In Abuja, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
And Communications Minister Adebayo Shitu is calling for the sustenance of the gains in the ICT and telecommunications sector, which has attracted investments running into billions of dollars during the last 4 years of the Buhari administration. The minister spoke at a valedictory media briefing in Abuja. Emmanuel Anyemiro reports.
On assumption of office, the Minister of Communications, Adebayo Shitu, has his job cut out. Among other things, the focus was to turn the communications sector into a cash cow that will help revive the economy, attract foreign and local investments, build information technology infrastructure, and give Nigerians access to ICT. 4 years after, here is the update.
152 million was the telecommunications subscriber base. As I'm talking to you now, it has risen by more than 21 million to 173,670,035. Internet subscriber base in 2015 was 97,824,017. Today it has risen to 115,000,000 157,470.
The valedictory media session provided a platform for all the prostators under the ministry to give account of their stewardship.
Telecommunication sector's contribution to GDP, ladies and gentlemen, the contribution stands at 2 trillion naira.
What we have achieved in the second quarter and the third quarter of 2018, both of them are unprecedented in the history of Nigeria.
The ministry believes that so much has been achieved within the last 4 years of Buhari administration, and much more is yet to come. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
While commending the current fight against corruption by the Buhari administration, experts have suggested the adoption of technology, strengthening of legal frameworks and anti-corruption agencies to consolidate on the successes recorded in the last 4 years. This was on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Abdusalam Jibril reports.
One of the mandates that heralded the President Muhammadu Buhari administration in 2015 was the anti-corruption crusade. 4 years on, acknowledgements such as the champion of the anti-corruption fight in Africa by the African Union have shown the president's crusade is recording successes and has not gone unnoticed. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria, while emphasizing that the current administration have shown a level of accountability and transparency, called for cooperation of all Nigerians in the fight against corruption.
The new agency that is tackling financial corruption in this country came up with a regulation to ensure that the poor people across Nigeria get the monthly allocation that goes to the local government. You can see how the governors are ganging up across the entire country to undermine this agency.
People out there believe that, oh, it's just Yahoo boys, but they don't seem to understand that the kind of internet scam we are having now is a kind of reinvigorated, in quotes, refined internet scam.
Other guests, while noting that fighting corruption has been challenging, underscored the judiciary as a major stakeholder in the fight.
You have $1 million. Your total salary since 1980 to date is $1,000. If you never spent it, can you please just explain one sentence? But we will allow, the lawyer will bring application, they will grant it, adjourn 2 months, lawyer will bring application, adjourn 3 months, 5 years for one person to explain.
There is this platform of under GIFA and many other fora to have mutual legal assistance, so that a crime here is a crime there.
They also maintain that pervasive corruption has dire consequences and its eradication will be a major economic breakthrough for the country. In Abuja, Abdusalam Jibril, NTA News.
Now to security matters. The Nigerian army has taken delivery of weapons to support counter-insurgency operation from Republic of Slovakia. Doing Dia witnessed the delivery of the weapons at the cargo wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
Apart from the tactical strategies required in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast, having the needed military hardware and sophisticated weapons to overpower terrorists is what experts say is key to winning the war against terrorism. The federal government, mindful of this, places premium on the acquisition of ammunition for the military. This delivery testifies to this. The equipment which is to be deployed to the front, the Nigerian Army says, will also be used to tackle violent crimes such as banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, amongst others. This is just part of the renewed commitment of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration towards ensuring that the military gets the needed backing to achieve their target goal in the defense of the nation's territorial integrity. From the cargo wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, doing Dia, NT News.
From security matters to aviation, 3 airlines are to airlift Nigerian programs to this year's Hajj exercise to Saudi Arabia. At the signing of airlift agreement in Abuja, chairman of the Nigerian Hajj Commission, Abdullahi Mukhtar Muhammad, told the selected carriers that they owe intending programs the moral duty to ensure that the exercise is smooth and memorable. The airlines are Medway Airlines, Max Air and Flynas.
That we are taking decision on behalf of thousands of Muslims and we know we'll account for this responsibility before the Almighty God. Therefore, considering the fact that the pilgrims are not part of the process, but we do it on their behalf, you have a moral responsibility to make their journey as comfortable as possible.
Representatives of the air carriers gave a commitment that they will do their best to deliver the best service to intending programs. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Captain Rabiu Hamisu Yadudu as the new Managing Director of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN. A statement by Deputy Director Press and Public Affairs, Ministry of Transportation, James Odudu, indicates that Captain Yadudu is to take over from the erstwhile Managing Director Saleh Dunoma, an ICAO and ICI accredited international airport professional. Captain Yadudu was, until his new appointment, the Director of Operations of the Air Authority. His appointment takes immediate effect. This is NTA Network News. We'll have more news ahead after the break. Don't go away. Thanks for staying. Former Lagos State Governor and Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is appealing to elderly members of the Nigerian society to take the path of honor and avoid inflammatory statements capable of undermining the nation's democracy and peace in its enterprise. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was speaking to NT News in the holy city of Mecca after joining President Muhammadu Buhari to break the Ramadan fast. State House correspondent Adam Musambu has the details.
It was a joyous moment of thanksgiving to Allah as the Muslim faithful accomplished another successful and highly rewarding day of Ramadan. Here in the holy city of Mecca, President Muhammadu Buhari was joined by another set of prominent Nigerians for iftar, or breaking of the fast. Amongst them, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, Emir of Kazaure, Dr. Najib Hussaini Adamu, and former Lagos State Governor, as well as chieftain of the governing APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Also present were the Nigerian ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Isa Muhammad Dudu, a business mogul, Wole Tinubu, Mamman Daura, and Ismaila Isa Funtua. Discussions at the event centered on various national issues, including the forthcoming presidential inauguration and the challenges ahead. Speaking to NTA News, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu appealed to fellow citizens of Nigeria to realize the enormity of the challenges facing the nation and rally around the president towards solving the problems and stabilizing the country.
Nigeria must remember one thing, one line. If only we go back to that old national anthem. One line there. No tribe and tongues may differ in brotherhood. So the inflammatory statement coming from those who are expected to be elder statesmen should stop and will work for the progress of this country. Because nobody will benefit from the chaos. There are challenges in the country, and we all need to come together to really help the country build and rediscover the fact that this president has worked hard for the country and will continue to do so. The national unity of great importance and stability to attract foreign investment and continue to move the economy forward. Those are principally, the key pegs of his own agenda. That's, I believe, I know. So that's what we all get together to work on.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu took a jibe at the opposition People's Democratic Party for what he called its saucy and destructive statements, but urged Nigerians not to be angry.
A traumatic experience of losing an election is what PDP leadership is going through. And you help them to endure the trauma because they've been there before. And if they have done a very strong foundation that will point to a progressive direction, we will find it. Where is it? So don't blame them if they are going through. You have to just have the understanding that they are going through the trauma of a colossal loss of the election.
The APC national leader had earlier commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the recognition of June 12 as the nation's Democracy Day. On his part, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sara Abubakar III, who pledged his support and cooperation to the Buhari administration, led fervent prayers to Allah for the success of the president's second term of office and for the nation to overcome prevailing challenges. The presidential guests, including Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology, Hakeem Faham, later felicitated with the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, for being a dependable ally to the Nigerian leader in the task of nation building. From Mecca, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The newly elected chairmen of the 6 area councils of the territory have been taken to task on the need to embark on projects that will impact positively on the lives of the people. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, gave the charge at the swearing-in ceremony of the chairmen and their vice at the FCDA Conference Hall in Abuja. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
I devote myself to the service and the well-being of the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Federal Capital Territory. So, help me God.
That oath of allegiance administered by Justice Salisu Garba of the FCT High Court gave the newly chairman and their vice the power to steer the ship of their respective area councils for the next 3 years. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello tasked the newly elected leaders to fast-track development in their areas as leadership comes with responsibilities. He urged them to complete ongoing projects and to ensure the welfare and well-being of the people receives topmost priority.
So I advise you to work for the people, to shun all acts of corruption, use public funds for the sole purposes for which they are meant for. You must learn from the mistakes of others before you and also build upon their successes.
Speaking on behalf of others, AMAC Chairman Abdullahi Adamu Candido promised to hit the ground running.
We want to assure the Federal Capital Territory that gone are those days where conflict pervades. We are going to work completely together so that the good people of this area councils can achieve success.
Out of the 6 elected chairmen, 4 are from the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, while 2 are from the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. Shuaibu Onozeyawu, NTA News.
The National Animal Production Research Institute is to serve as a center of excellence in livestock production and conflict management between farmers and herders. This followed the move by the federal government to upgrade production facility and equipment at the institution. Musa Baba Aliu reports.
Since 1928, the National Animal Production Research Institute has been carrying out demand-driven studies and training in animal production, as well as disseminating findings of such technologies to producers. The institute over the years has built a track record in animal breeding, beef and dairy production, as well as disease control and developing animal feed.
We have in recent years gotten into various levels of relationship with local and international bodies with whom we share the same concerns and contribution to the food security, job creation, and poverty alleviation in Nigeria.
All our agricultural institutes, the IAR, the NERLS, the NAPRI have national mandate. So they are not only local institutes, they capture or they impact on the entire nation and beyond.
The institute's management, under the leadership of Clarence Lakweni, has given the institution facelift. These innovations include upgrade of learning of facilities such as Center for Milk Collation, animal feed production and processing, road rehabilitation network, as well as construction of an earth dam.
We are going to help you expand your hatchery for the Shika Brown. Because if you have the Shika Brown on your farm, it has capacity to withstand high temperatures, withstand diseases. The egg lay is very impressive, so we want to see them move into broilers.
I hope this modest presentation will be comprehended within the context of sustainable strategies to mitigate security challenges in animal production.
The Danish government, as well as other public and private organizations, including the Central Bank of Nigeria, have pledged to collaborate with the institution for greater achievements. From Zaria, Kaduna State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Nigeria is losing 660 billion naira because of our inability to maintain serviceable broken-down tractors around the country. This was made known at the signing of 3-year collaboration agreement on sustainability of Fadama 3 additional financing between World Bank, NISAL and Fadama 3. Chimobi Walter Naji reports.
Hatama, Labaku.
With that, the agreement between the key players in agric development is signed, sealed and delivered. The collaboration, among other things, seeks to provide solution to the infrastructural deficit in the agricultural sector and improve agricultural mechanization, especially among smallholder farmers seeking to add value to agric produce coming out of Nigeria.
We have only 1% mechanization. 10% animal power, and then about the remaining percent, about 89% human. So you can see how far away we are.
So far, Nigeria has about 6 tractors per 100 square kilometers as against the international standard of 200 tractors per 100 square kilometers. The agreement will see the refurbishment of about 56,000 tractors around the country to bridge this gap and enhance food security in the country. To consolidate on government's efforts towards ensuring improved productivity in the agricultural sector, the Fadama 3 additional financing project is aimed at giving impetus to the production in the agricultural sector.
Preparing 55,000 broken down tractors, which MECA and its partners have done the survey for, will cost Nigeria only 30 billion naira. And that can come from structured commercial financing because this is a business model.
The signing ceremony is aimed at fostering cooperation between industry key players to ensure that the aim of the Fadama 3 project is achieved. In Abuja, I'm Chimobi Walter Naji.
You are watching NTA Network News. Let's now join Michael in Lagos for more news. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jumai, and welcome to the Center of Excellence. The Accountant General of the Republic of the Gambia, Mamadou Lamine Ba, has applauded the strategies adopted by the federal government to curb illicit financial flows and misappropriation of funds in the country, saying it will be suitable for the Gambian government. As it these while interacting with key financial stakeholders in Lagos, Abolade Salami reports.
The implementation of the Treasury Single Account by the federal government over 2 years has succeeded in saving the country over 45 billion naira monthly on interest. This landmark achievement has therefore continued to attract the interest of other African countries to learn the process of implementation. A team led by the Accountant General of the Republic of the Gambia for over 2 weeks have been interacting with relevant stakeholders on strategies adopted to implement the payment system.
The Gambians, just like the rest of Africa, discovered that we have made a lot of progress in implementing our TSA, and they were advised by the IMF to come to Nigeria to understudy how we have been able to do it.
The anti-corruption fight of the federal government, which has led to the recovery of stolen funds, the team emphasized will equally be introduced into the financial system.
We've also learned about
the technological contributions, the infrastructure the technology is providing, how that has facilitated a successful implementation of the TSA, and also the collaboration between institutions, for example, between the Accountant General's Office and also the Central Bank of Nigeria.
The Director of Treasury Single Accounts, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Silva Okolabo, informed stakeholders of the intention of Ethiopia and Kenya to join the League of Countries to understudy the TSA process. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The essence of Nigerians' unity in diversity among its people is said to be divinely ordained. Guest speaker at NTA Lagos Network Center 8th edition of the Yusuf Jibo Ramadan lecture, Dr. Jabir Sani Mehula of the Sokoto State University stated that this diversity is purposely made to enhance the nation's good. Tunde Saiki has details.
This year's lectures, which had the first focusing on the Islamic perspective of Nigerians' diversity and inclusion, was traced to what it was during the early days of Islam with Prophet Muhammad, while the second focused on leadership questions. The university lecturer said despite the presence of diversities in races, belief system, politics, economy, and others, Prophet Muhammad was able to inculcate love in the people, which Nigerians have appreciated by staying together in unity despite our diversity, noting that it is all for a purpose.
Our diversity in Nigeria, coming from different tribes, from different religions, shall be like an asset to us, not liability.
In his own perspective, the Imam of Lekki Muslim Umar Sheikh Ridwan Jamiu sees leadership as a divine trust.
We should not condemn our governments, we should encourage them, we should pray for them, we should not curse them.
Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, who was represented by the Zonal Director Lagos Network Center, says the Ramadan lecture is aimed at fostering connections between the Muslim community in the NTA and other brothers and sisters, as well as reflecting on the existence and the purpose of life as anchored in Islam.
He always encouraged staff to work together towards building a true team. He was truly and genuinely interested in fresh ideas. He listened and encouraged owners of such ideas to pursue them.
The annual Ramadan lecture has always been organized to honor one of their own, late Malam Yusuf Jibo, who, while alive, dedicated his life to the development of humanity through broadcasting. He died in December 2010. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Time now to join Abdullahi Mohammed in Kaduna for more news. Abdullahi.
Good evening, Juma, and thanks for joining us here in Kaduna. A crime suspect that jumped bail in Lagos and escaped to Kaduna has framed up his sureties as kidnappers, leading to mob action that led to the death of 2 innocent persons. Let's now join Suleiman Abdullahi Rugatkun, who was at the scene in our report.
An early morning pandemonium around Cow Bridge in Kaduna metropolis. When NTA News crew arrived at the scene, 2 persons were already killed. One of them, an alleged kidnapper, lynched by an angry mob. Another fell to a stray bullet of security operatives who were trying to bring the situation under control. The police further informed NTA News that the person that called for help is one Alhaji Usman Ibrahim, a suspect that jumped bail from Lagos, and the victims he framed up were his sureties. They bailed him from police in Lagos. They arrived in Kaduna with a detective in pursuit of him. And while the detective was formalizing arrest arrangement with the police, the sureties decided to trace his whereabouts. On sighting them, he decided to escape, while they decided to go after him, in the course of which he raised the false alarm of being chased by kidnappers. Hence, the angry mob clamped on them.
And you know what Cow Flyover used to be? It's a flashpoint where you have thugs all over. So when he raised alarm and he was shouting that kidnappers were trying to kidnap him, people just gathered and instantly mob that lynched that driver that was sitting in the car and set the car ablaze. They ran after one of them. They hit him and he fell at the gutter. And that was when the police got the distress call. The rush, at the time they reached the scene, already that person that was in the vehicle was killed, and then the vehicle was set ablaze.
On the person hit by a stray bullet, the PPRO said the incident happened while joint security operatives drafted to save the lives of the sureties were making efforts to protect them. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkum, NTA News.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, will support member states in strengthening physical security and safety armories of their security forces to curtail leakages, diversions, and theft of arms and ammunition. Again, Suleiman Abdullah Rigachkun reports.
ECOWAS Commission, in collaboration with Government of Germany, technical partners, the Multinational Small Arms and Ammunition Group, and the Bonn International Center for Conversion, is conducting the multi-phase competency training at Martin Luther Agway International Peacekeeping Center, Jaji, aimed at evolving practical measures to mitigate easy access to weapons across member nations by establishing standards and best practices.
All legal framework are being promoted, thereby providing member states with responses in dealing with current as well as emerging security challenges.
Small arms and light weapons kill and maim hundreds of thousands of people every year and promote cultures of violence and terror.
The Physical Security and Stockpile Management Competence Building Seminar is also coming on the heels of increased proliferation of small arms and light weapons.
It therefore becomes necessary to build capacity in dealing with these prevailing challenges.
The seminar, like the first held in 2018, will, among other things, enhance practical measures for appropriate storage, inventory, and record keeping of arms and ammunition. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkum, NTA News.
Many thanks, Suleiman. And that's the stories making the rounds here in Kaduna. It's back to Jumai, who will continue network news in Abuja. Jumai.
Thank you, Abdullahi. Another break beckons. Join us again. Next is Sports Update.